The Perfect Mark. A true story of manipulation, money, and awakening. Prologue: the parking lot confrontation. This is how my marriage ended. Not with a quiet conversation or a lawyer's office meeting, but in a Target parking lot at 11 p.m., with the woman I thought was my wife screaming obscenities, while a police officer tried to separate us over a Mercedes C-Class. "You psycho. You called the cops on me." Victoria's voice was shrill enough to shatter glass. I stood there under the flickering streetlight, watching her designer nails claw at the air, and felt absolutely nothing. Just a strange, detached calm where panic used to live. "Mr. Marcus Chen," the officer said, looking exhausted. "Your wife claims this vehicle was a gift. That you have no right." "She's not my wife," I interrupted. The officer's pen stopped mid-note. "I'm sorry, what? We had a ceremony. Wedding photos, cake, the whole thing. But we never filed the marriage license. Legally, we're strangers." Victoria's face cycled through colors like a mood ring: white shock, red fury, purple rage. "You son of a bitch," she breathed. "After everything I gave up for you." "Gave up?" The laugh that came out of me sounded like breaking glass. "You mean everything you took from me. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me rewind. Let me tell you how a 38-year-old man with 3 degrees, a teaching credential, and what people called book smarts, became the perfect mark for a woman running the oldest con in history. Let me tell you about the 18 months I lost $180,000, my self-respect, and very nearly my life, all in pursuit of something that never existed. Love. Or what I thought was love. Chapter 1: Rock Bottom. 16 years. 16 years of my life poured into a dream that everyone said was noble: becoming a tenured professor of linguistics. I can still see the rejection email that finally broke me. I was sitting in my cramped studio in Queens, surrounded by towers of academic journals and half-written research papers. "We regret to inform you that the search committee has decided to move forward with other candidates." Other candidates. Always other candidates. My best friend Derek tried to cheer me up at our usual dive bar in Astoria. "Dude, it's their loss. You've got a PhD from Columbia, for Christ's sake. Something'll turn up." I wanted to throw my beer at him. Easy for him to say he was a software engineer at Google making $300,000 a year. What did I have? 16 years of promising research, and strong potential, and we'll keep your CV on file. My sister Rachel was gentler. She always was. "Marcus." She pulled me into a hug in her Upper West Side apartment. "When you were in the hospital. When they pumped your stomach." She couldn't finish. Couldn't say, suicide attempt. Couldn't acknowledge that her brilliant big brother had swallowed a bottle of Ambien because he couldn't face another rejection. "I'm sorry, Rach," I whispered into her shoulder. "Don't apologize. Just promise me you'll actually live. Not just exist, but live. Go on dates. Make friends. Stop hiding behind books." So I gave up, walked away from academia and took a job at my brother-in-law Tyler's SAT prep company in Manhattan. $65,000 a year. Teaching high schoolers how to crack the reading section. No publications, no conferences, no prestige. But it was something. A reset button. I was 38 years old, single, romantically inexperienced, and so desperately lonely I could feel it in my bones. I was perfect prey, and I didn't even know it. Chapter 2: The Setup. "Marcus, I know someone you should meet." My sister Rachel said it casually over Sunday brunch in Brooklyn. She'd always been the social one, the one with friends, connections, and actual life outside of work. "A woman?" My coffee cup froze halfway to my mouth. "Yeah, Victoria Laurent. She's friends with Tyler's colleague. Gorgeous, 34, works in fashion merchandising. I think you two would vibe." I should have asked more questions. Should have wondered why a gorgeous fashion professional was single at 34. Should have been suspicious of how eager Rachel seemed to set this up. But then she showed me Victoria's Instagram. Holy shit. Flawless skin, long dark hair, a smile that could sell toothpaste. Every photo was perfectly lit, perfectly angled, perfectly curated. Rooftop brunches, art gallery openings, beach sunsets. She looked like she belonged on a yacht, not on a dating app. Wow, I managed, right? So should I give her your number? God, yes. Our first date was at a wine bar in Soho. I arrived 20 minutes early, sweating through my button-down despite the air conditioning. When she walked in, the entire bar seemed to pause. Marcus? She smiled, and I swear the lighting got softer. Victoria. Hi. Please, sit. We talked for 3 hours. She was charming, engaged, easy to be around. She laughed at my terrible jokes. I'm talking really bad academic humor and seemed genuinely fascinated by linguistics. Wow, the psychology of language? That's so interesting. I've always wanted to be smarter about that stuff. Really? I lit up like Times Square. I could recommend some books. Or, we could talk about it sometime if you want. I'd love that. Her hand brushed mine across the table. You're so different from the guys I usually meet. They only want to talk about crypto and their Porsche lease. Red flag number 1. She established I was different from her usual type. Better, special, but I didn't see it as a red flag. I saw it as a miracle. So what do you do for fun? I asked. Oh, yoga, museums, trying new restaurants. I love experiences more than things. She paused. What about you? Honestly, I've been so focused on work that I haven't done much of anything. I guess I need to get out more. Well, she smiled, maybe I can help with that. Hook, line, and sinker. Chapter 3. The investment phase. Victoria started needing help with her career development about twice a week. Marcus, I have this presentation at work and I'm so nervous about public speaking. Could you coach me? Of course I could. I stayed late at the office, created PowerPoint templates, rehearsed with her via Zoom. She was terrible at presenting. Forgot her points, mumbled, had zero stage presence. But I didn't care, because afterward, we'd talk for hours. About her difficult childhood in Connecticut. Her manipulative ex-boyfriend who'd stolen her confidence. Her dream of starting her own boutique someday. You're so patient with me, Mark. She'd started calling me Mark. My heart melted every time. Most guys would have given up on me by now. Never, I'd said. You're worth the effort. Red flag number 2. She positioned herself as damaged goods that only I could fix. Made me feel like a hero for basic human decency. One evening, she showed up at my apartment with a Levain bakery box. I baked these for you, she said, eyes shining. They were cookies. From Levain Bakery, with the price sticker poorly scraped off the bottom of the box. But in that moment, I saw a woman who'd spent her day thinking about me, baking for me, caring about me. These are incredible, I gushed, biting into a $4 cookie. You're so talented, Vic. She blushed. You're just being nice. Nice. Yes. I was being nice. I was being an idiot. The first major test came 3 weeks in. We were at a karaoke bar in K-Town. Her idea. She'd said she loved singing but had no one to go with anymore, since her friend group had abandoned her. Red flag number 3. Isolation narrative. No friends, no support system, just little old her against the world. Mark, can I ask you something personal? My palms went sweaty. Sure, anything. Are you seeing anyone else? Like, dating around? No. God, no. Just you. Are you? No. She looked down, playing with her drink straw. I deleted all my apps after our first date. I felt something, Something real. I felt like I'd won the lottery. I felt it too, I said. That night, walking back to her place in Williamsburg, she stumbled in her stilettos. She grabbed my arm, wincing dramatically. You okay? These stupid heels. My feet are killing me. But I wanted to look nice for you. My heart cracked open. Vic, you don't need heels. You're beautiful in anything. Over the next month, she wore those torture devices every single time we met. Always limping afterward. Always in pain. Always suffering for me. I couldn't take it anymore. So I leased her a car. A fucking Mercedes C-Class. $650 a month, 36-month lease, in her name. Mark, I can't accept this. She protested, but her eyes were already calculating the residual value. Please. I hate seeing you take the subway in those heels. You deserve better. She threw her arms around me. You're the best man I've ever known. The best, Mark, more like it. Chapter 4 Meeting the Family. I want you to meet my mom. Victoria said it like she was asking me to pass the salt. We'd been dating for 6 weeks. Your mom? Panic and excitement fought for dominance in my chest. Yeah, she's visiting from Hartford this weekend. I told her about you and she wants to meet the guy who's making me smile again. Red flag number 4 Weaponized family approval. Moving way too fast. But all I heard was, making me smile again. Like I was her savior. I'd love to, I said. Mrs. Laurent was everything Victoria would become in 20 years: elegant, poised, calculating. She appraised me the way an antiques dealer examines a vase at an estate sale. Marcus. Victoria's told me wonderful things. You're a teacher? Yes, ma'am. SAT prep. I have a PhD in linguistics from Columbia. Her eyes lit up. Columbia? How impressive. And you're working with your brother-in-law's company? Yes. It's actually quite successful. We have locations in Manhattan, Brooklyn, and we're expanding to Westchester. Lies. Well, half lies. Tyler's company was doing fine, but I was just an employee. I had no ownership stake. But I wanted to impress her. Wanted to seem worthy of her daughter. How lovely, Mrs. Laurent said. Victoria deserves someone stable. Someone with prospects. We went to Per Se for dinner. Per Se. $350 per person before wine. I watched the bill climb like a stock ticker during a bull market. $400. $600. $900. But it was fine. It was an investment in our future. After Mrs. Laurent left in a town car I'd arranged, another $80. Victoria squeezed my hand. Thank you, Mark. My mom really likes you. I like her too. She said you're a gentleman. That I should lock you down. She laughed, but there was something hungry in her eyes. I should have seen it. Should have wondered why a 34-year-old woman needed her mother's approval on date number 6. But I was too busy feeling validated. Chapter 5 The Sister's Warning. Rachel was not impressed. Mark, don't you think this is moving kind of fast? You've known her for 2 months. When you know, Rach. Do you, though? She set down her coffee cup with more force than necessary. We were at her apartment, and Tyler was conveniently running errands. What's that supposed to mean? It means, look, I'm happy you're dating. Really? But Victoria is. She's a lot. A lot of what? Rachel sighed. Tyler's colleague, Brian? The one who introduced you guys. He mentioned that Victoria goes through guys pretty quickly. That she has a type. What type? Successful. Generous. Temporary. My jaw clenched. That's not fair. You don't know her like I do. You're right. I don't. But Mark, you just leased her a Mercedes. You've spent thousands on dinners. She hasn't offered to pay for a single thing, has she? She's in between jobs right now. She works in fashion merchandising. She's transitioning roles. It's complicated, Mark. Rachel's voice softened. I love you. You're my big brother. And I haven't seen you this happy since before the whole Columbia thing fell apart. But I'm worried you're confusing attention with affection. You set us up. I know. And I'm starting to regret it. Brian said she asked specifically about whether you had family money, about your situation. My situation? Your financial situation, Marcus. I stood up. I'm not listening to this. You're jealous that I finally found someone. Jealous? Mark, I'm married. Then you're being overprotective. Victoria loves me. She told me. After 2 months? Yes. Is that so hard to believe? That someone might actually love me? The words hung in the air like smoke. Rachel's expression crumbled. Oh, Mark. That's not what I meant. You deserve love. Real love. I want to make sure this is real. But I was already grabbing my jacket. I'll see you later, Rach. I should have listened to her. God, I should have listened. Chapter 6 The Crisis. It happened on a Tuesday. Victoria called me at 2 a.m., sobbing so hard I could barely understand her. Mark, someone tried to break into my apartment. I was out of bed before she finished the sentence. What? Are you okay? Did you call the police? Yes, they came, but Mark, I'm so scared. I can't stay here. I can't. Her voice broke into hiccuping sobs. I was at her Williamsburg apartment in 20 minutes. Uber surge pricing be damned. She answered the door in an oversized Columbia sweatshirt, mine, from a date 2 weeks ago, and shorts, eyes red-rimmed, mascara smudged. She looked vulnerable, breakable, real. Hey, it's okay. I'm here. I pulled her into my arms. She buried her face in my chest. I heard someone at the door, trying the handle. I was so scared, Mark. What if they come back? They won't. The police are watching the building now, right? For tonight. But then what? I can't afford to move. My lease isn't up for 4 more months and the landlord won't let me break it without a penalty. The tears started again. Listen, I heard myself say, you can stay with me. She pulled back. What? My place. In Forest Hills. It's safe. Good neighborhood. You can stay there until you feel safe again. Mark, I can't ask you to. You're not asking. I'm offering. Red flag number 5: manufacturing a crisis to speed up cohabitation. But I didn't see a red flag. I saw a damsel in distress and a chance to be her hero. Just until I find a new place, she said softly. Take all the time you need. She never looked for a new place. Within 2 weeks, her stuff had migrated from a few overnight things to a full colonization of my apartment. Her skincare products took over the bathroom. Her clothes filled my closet. Her Peloton appeared in my living room. Is this okay? She asked one night, gesturing at the domestic tableau. I don't want to impose. It's perfect, I said. And I meant it. I loved coming home to her. Loved the smell of her perfume in my sheets. Loved the illusion of partnership, of not being alone. I loved the lie. Chapter 7: The Proposal. 3 months after she moved in, Victoria started dropping hints. Not subtle ones. Tiffany is having a sale on engagement rings. My college roommate just got engaged. Look at this rock. My mom asked when she should start looking at mother of the bride dresses. I felt the pressure building like a vice around my chest. Tyler pulled me aside at a family dinner. Dude, you know you don't have to marry her just because she's living with you, right? I want to marry her. Do you? Or do you want to not disappoint her? What's the difference? Tyler sighed. Marcus, I love you, but you're being an idiot. You've known this woman for 4 months. 4. I've had cartons of milk last longer. When you know, you know. Jesus Christ, you sound like a Hallmark card. He lowered his voice. The prep center's financials aren't great right now. We had to let 3 tutors go. I can't give you a raise, and I definitely can't float you for a wedding. I'm not asking you to. Then how are you going to pay for it? Victoria's tastes aren't exactly budget-friendly. He was right. Victoria had expensive taste. The $200 brunches. The designer workout clothes. The small birthday gift she'd hinted at, a $3,000 Gucci bag. But I had a plan. I had a trust fund from my grandmother. $120,000, earmarked for something important. A wedding seemed important. I proposed at the Central Park Boathouse, with a $8,000 ring I'd bought on credit. Yes, Victoria screamed, loud enough that nearby tourists started clapping. Yes, yes, yes. She posted 17 Instagram stories within an hour. I said yes to my best friend. #engaged, #future Mrs. Chen, #lucky girl. Rachel texted me that night. Mark, please tell me you're getting a prenup. I didn't respond, because Victoria had already made her thoughts on prenups very clear. Prenups are for people who don't trust each other. Are you saying you don't trust me, Mark? No, of course not, I just thought. Because if you don't trust me, maybe we shouldn't be getting married at all. So no prenup. Red flag number 6: financial control disguised as romantic trust. Chapter 8: The Wedding. Rachel refused to be my best man. Well, best woman, whatever. I can't support this, Mark. I love you, but I can't watch you make this mistake. It's not a mistake. She's using you. Can't you see that? No, what I see is my sister being jealous and unsupportive. We didn't speak for 2 months. Tyler tried a gentler approach. Look, man, I'm not saying don't marry her. I'm just saying, wait, get to know her better. Live together for a year first. We've been living together for 5 months. In your apartment that you pay for, while she spends her entire paycheck, if she even still has a job, on bullshit. Marcus, she bought a $600 diffuser last week. A diffuser. But I didn't listen. The wedding planning was a nightmare. Victoria wanted the plaza. The plaza. For 200 guests. Vic, we can't afford that. Fine. Her voice went cold. Then we'll have a small wedding. But don't expect me to be happy about it. We compromised on a boutique venue in Westchester. $45,000 for 80 guests. My grandmother's trust fund evaporated like water on hot pavement. The week before the wedding, Rachel showed up at my apartment. Mark, I need to tell you something. Victoria was at a spa day, another $500. What? I talked to Brian, Victoria's friend, the one who set you guys up. And? He said Victoria specifically asked to be set up with you. That she'd seen your LinkedIn profile and noticed you had a PhD and came from a good family. My stomach dropped. So she hunted you, Marcus. This wasn't chance. This wasn't fate. She targeted you. Get out, Mark. I said get out. You're trying to sabotage my wedding because you're bitter and alone. Rachel's face went white. Alone? I'm married, you asshole. Get out. She left. She also didn't come to the wedding. Neither did Tyler. On my side 3 colleagues from the prep center and a cousin I barely knew. On Victoria's side 60 people, including her mother, 3 bridesmaids, and a cluster of friends I'd never heard her mention before. The ceremony was beautiful. Victoria looked stunning in a $6,000 Vera Wang dress. I looked like a man walking to his execution. And here's the thing nobody tells you about weddings: there's a moment during the vows when you can still back out. When the officiant asks if anyone objects, and there's a pause, and you're supposed to look at your bride to be with love. In that pause, I saw Victoria's face. Really saw it. The calculated smile, the slightly predatory gleam in her eye, the way she glanced at her mother, and some silent communication passed between them. But I said, I do, anyway. Because I'd already spent $60,000 on this wedding. Because my family was already fractured. Because backing out seemed harder than going through with it. Worst decision of my life. We never filed the marriage license. I told Victoria it was an administrative delay. The truth? Some part of me, some small surviving scrap of self-preservation, couldn't do it. I never signed that paper. Thank God. Chapter 9: The Unraveling. The first crack appeared 2 weeks after the wedding. I came home to find Victoria on the couch, surrounded by shopping bags. Bergdorf Goodman, Saks, Cartier. Vic, what's all this? Wedding gifts. For myself. I mean, we didn't get much from your side. She trailed off, examining a pair of Louboutins. How much did this cost? I don't know, like $8,000? It's fine, it went on your Amex. My Amex. The one I'd added her to, for emergencies. $8,000. She looked up, eyes narrowing. Are you seriously going to police my spending right now? On our honeymoon month? We didn't go on a honeymoon because we couldn't afford it. Exactly, so I'm treating myself since you couldn't treat me properly. The mask was starting to slip. Over the next month, I watched my financial life implode in slow motion. The prep center was failing. Tyler had been right, we were bleeding students and tutors. I wasn't pulling my weight because I was distracted, depressed, drowning. Tyler called me into his office. Marcus, I have to let you go. What? You've been late 17 times in the last month. You zoned out during a parent conference. 3 students requested different tutors. I can't keep covering for you. Tyler, please. I'm sorry, man. I really am. But this isn't working. I lost my job. I went home and told Victoria. Well, she said, not looking up from her phone, I guess you'll have to find something else. Aren't you worried? About what? About money? About how we're going to pay rent? She finally looked at me. You said your family has money. They're not going to give us anything. Not after the wedding. Then ask your sister. Rachel's not speaking to me. Then figure it out, Marcus. You're the man. This is your job. The man. My job. I tried. God, I tried. I applied to teaching positions, tutoring gigs, anything. But my CV was a mess: PhD dropout narrative, recent termination, 6-month employment gap before Tyler hired me. Nobody wanted me. Meanwhile, Victoria's spending accelerated. I need a new laptop for my design portfolio. I need Botox. I'm getting crow's feet. I need a gym membership at Equinox, the one by your place is too cheap. Vic, we can't afford. Then sell something. You have stuff. That signed first edition of Chomsky, that's worth money, right? I sold my books, my watch, my grandmother's earrings that I'd been saving for. I don't even know what for anymore. Everything went into the Victoria Fund. And still it wasn't enough. Chapter 10 The Mask Falls. It happened on a Tuesday. I came home from another failed interview to find Victoria getting ready to go out. Full makeup, designer dress, heels. Where are you going? Out. Out where? Does it matter? You're broke, Marcus. You can't take me anywhere nice anymore. The casual cruelty in her voice was like a physical slap. I'm trying, Vic. I'm trying so hard. Trying? She laughed, applying lipstick in the hallway mirror. You're 38 years old with a PhD and you can't even get a high school teaching job. That's not trying, that's failing. I was let go from one position. Because you were too busy being depressed to do your job. God, Marcus, do you know how embarrassing this is for me? My friends ask what my husband does and I have to say, he's between opportunities. Do you know how pathetic that sounds? I'm sorry. Stop apologizing. She whirled on me. Stop being so fucking weak. This is exactly why I can't stand you anymore. The words hit like bullets. What did you just say? You heard me. I can't stand you. You're weak, you're broke, you're useless. You promised me a life and you've given me nothing but excuses. I never promised you anything. I told you I was a teacher. You told me you had family money. You told me your sister was married to someone successful. You implied things would be taken care of. I never. You know what the worst part is? She grabbed her Prada bag, the $3,200 one I'd bought for our 1-month anniversary. I wasted the best years of my life on you. I'm 34 years old, Marcus. Do you know how hard it is to date after 35? I could have married someone with actual money. Someone with a future. Then why did you marry me? Because I thought you were someone with money. Your sister lives on the Upper West Side. Your profile said Columbia PhD. You dressed well, you talked like you had your shit together. How was I supposed to know you were just another broke academic playing dress up? And there it was. The truth, naked and ugly. So this whole time, you never loved me. She rolled her eyes. Love? Marcus, love is for people who can afford to be idealistic. I needed security, stability, a partner who could provide. I tried to provide. Trying doesn't pay for Whole Foods, Marcus. It doesn't pay for rent, or car insurance, or the lifestyle I deserve. The lifestyle you deserve? Yes. I'm smart, I'm beautiful, I'm 34 and I look 28. I could have had anyone, but I chose you because I thought you were a safe bet. Turns out you're just another loser who can't handle the real world. Something inside me died. Not broke, not shattered, just died. The part of me that believed in love, in partnership, in the fundamental goodness of people, it just stopped existing. Get out, I said quietly. Excuse me? Get out of my apartment. She laughed. Your apartment? Baby, this lease is in my name. You signed it over 6 months ago, remember? When you were so desperate to make me happy? No, that couldn't be right. But I checked my email that night after she left for where. I didn't ask and didn't care, and there it was. The lease renewal, with her name, that I'd signed without reading because she said it was easier for taxes. The car was in her name. The joint checking account, the one with my remaining savings, had her as primary holder. Even my fucking Netflix account was under her email now. She'd been preparing for this. Slowly, methodically, she'd been transferring everything into her control. I had nothing. Again. Chapter 11 The Reckoning. I showed up at Rachel's apartment at 3 a.m. She opened the door in her bathrobe, took one look at my face, and pulled me inside. Mark. Oh my God, Mark. I told her everything. The lease. The money. Victoria's confession. The systematic dismantling of my life. Rachel didn't say, I told you so. She just held me while I cried for the first time since my suicide attempt. What do I do, Rach? First, we're getting you away from her. Tyler has a spare room in their Westchester place. You're moving there tomorrow. I can't. You can. And you will. This isn't negotiable, Mark. But the lease is in her name, so let her deal with it. She wanted control? She can have it. You walk away. With nothing. With your life. Rachel grabbed my shoulders. Marcus Chen, you are 38 years old. You have a PhD from an Ivy League school. You have people who love you. You have survived depression, academic rejection, and a literal suicide attempt. You will survive this too. I don't know if I can. Well, I do. Because you're my big brother and you're stronger than you think. The next morning, while Victoria was at brunch with friends, probably hunting for her next target, I packed one duffel bag. Clothes, laptop, my grandfather's watch that I'd hidden when Victoria demanded I sell it. Everything else, the furniture, the kitchen stuff, the wedding gifts, I left. I texted her from Tyler's car, I'm gone. The apartment's yours. Don't contact me again. She called 17 times. Then texted, you can't just leave. We're married. Me, no, we're not. Check the county records. We never filed. Her, what? Me, I couldn't do it. Some part of me knew. Her, you bastard. You owe me. I gave you a year of my life. Me, and I gave you $180,000. We're done. Her, I'm keeping the car. Me, the lease is in your name. Have fun with the payments. Her, you'll regret this. I'll sue you. Me, for what? We're not married. You have no claim to anything. Her, I'll tell everyone what you did. I'll ruin you. Me, go ahead. I've already ruined myself. You can't make it worse. I blocked her number. It should have felt triumphant. It just felt empty. Chapter 12, The Parking Lot. She found me 3 weeks later. I was leaving Target in Westchester, carrying basics. I'd had to rebuy shampoo, socks, phone charger when I heard the engine. The Mercedes. My Mercedes. The one I was still making lease payments on because I'd co-signed like an idiot. Victoria got out, heels clicking on pavement, face twisted with rage. You're fucking kidding me. You ghosted me? Like some Tinder hookup? Victoria, leave me alone. Leave you alone? You owe me, Marcus. You took a year of my life. I gave you $180,000. We're even. Even. Her voice went shrill. I could have been dating someone who actually matters. Someone with a future. Instead, I wasted my time on you. A security guard started walking toward us. Ma'am, is there a problem? Yes. Victoria pointed at me. He's harassing me. I'm harassing you? He called me, told me to meet him here. And now he's threatening me. The guard looked at me. Sir? I didn't call her. Check my phone records. I blocked her number 3 weeks ago. He's lying. And that car, she pointed at the Mercedes. He gave it to me and now he's trying to take it back. Something snapped. Call the police, I said to the guard. Victoria's face went pale. What? Call the police. I want to report a stolen vehicle. You can't be serious. That car is leased in your name, but I'm the co-signer making payments. The agreement was that it was for your use while we were together. We're not together anymore. I want it back. You gave it to me. I let you use it. There's a difference. The police arrived 15 minutes later. And that's how we ended up here, under fluorescent Target parking lot lights, with a bored cop trying to figure out if this was theft or just a really messy breakup. Mr. Chen, the officer said, technically, since the lease is in her name. But I'm the co-signer. I'm making the payments. She hasn't paid a dime toward it. That's not true. Victoria shrieked. I paid for gas. Gas? I stared at her. You spent $180,000 of my money and you think putting $40 in the tank counts as payment? I gave you companionship, emotional support. I cooked for you. You ordered Seamless on my credit card. The officer held up his hands. Okay, both of you calm down. I want compensation, Victoria said. For my time. For the year I wasted. I want $100,000 or I keep the car. The officer looked at me. Is that true? You want the car back? I looked at Victoria, really looked at her. Without the soft lighting, the Instagram filters, the performance, she was just a woman. Not a goddess, not a demon. Just a woman who'd made shitty choices and was now facing consequences. I'll make you a deal, I said. Give me back $90,000, half of what I spent on you, and I'll drop the vehicle report. $90,000. Or we can let the cops sort out the lease violation, and you can explain to the dealership why you can't make payments. She deflated like a punctured tire. I don't have $90,000. Then sell the car. Get a job. Figure it out. You're really going to destroy my life over money? You destroyed mine first. The officer looked between us. Look, this is clearly a civil matter. I'm going to suggest you two work this out. I'll give you 60, Victoria said suddenly. 60,000, that's all I can get. From where? My mother. She'll loan it to me. Fine. 60,000, cash, by the end of the week. And you return the car. Deal. We never shook on it. Never made it official. 3 days later, a cashier's check for $60,000 arrived via messenger. No note. No signature. Just the money. The car showed up in Tyler's driveway the same day, keys in the mailbox. I never heard from Victoria Laurent again. Epilogue 1 year later. I'm teaching again. Not at some fancy prep center. Just a regular public high school in Queens, teaching ESL and SAT prep to kids who actually need it. The pay is $58,000 a year. Half what I made with Tyler. But it's honest. Clean. Mine. Rachel and I reconciled over coffee in Brooklyn. She cried. I cried. We agreed to never let someone come between us again. Tyler gave me a loan to cover the $120,000 I still owed from the wedding and Victoria's shopping sprees. I'm paying him back $500 a month. It'll take 20 years, but at least I have family. I heard through mutual friends that Victoria moved to Miami. Apparently, she's engaged to a tech entrepreneur, some guy who sold his startup for 8 figures. I hope she's happy. I genuinely do. Because I've learned something important: her happiness isn't my responsibility anymore. I'm dating again. Slowly. Carefully. Her name is Jennifer. She's a librarian. She drives a 2012 Honda Civic. She split the check on our first date. On our third date, she showed up in sneakers and jeans. I hope this is okay, she said nervously. Heels hurt my feet. I smiled. Really smiled. It's perfect. We've been together 6 months. No talk of moving in. No rush. Just getting to know each other. Like normal people. Last week, she asked about my past. So have you ever been married? Almost, I said. But not legally. It's a long story. I've got time, she said. So I told her everything. The whole pathetic, expensive, humiliating saga. When I finished, I expected judgment. Disgust. Maybe pity. Instead, she said, "Thank you for trusting me enough to share that. It must have been really hard. It was the stupidest thing I've ever done. Or," she said gently, "it was an expensive education in what real love isn't. And now you know what to look for." What's that? Someone who sees you as a partner, not a prize. Someone who wants to build with you, not just take from you. She squeezed my hand. Someone who'd rather split a $20 pizza with you than eat a $200 steak on your dime. I might marry this woman someday. But not tomorrow. Not next month. Maybe not for years. Because I've learned that love isn't a race. It's not about grand gestures or expensive gifts or rushing to the altar before you really know someone. It's about showing up, being honest, choosing each other every day, even when it's boring or hard or unglamorous. It's about building something real instead of performing something perfect. Final thoughts. I lost $180,000 to Victoria Laurent. I lost my job, my apartment, my relationship with my sister, and very nearly my life. But I gained something more valuable: clarity. I know now what I was to Victoria: a mark, a target, a means to an end. She saw a lonely, desperate man with a PhD and presumed wealth, and she played me like a fiddle. But here's the thing that took me months to understand: I let her. I saw red flags and called them quirks. I felt warning signs and called them butterflies. I ignored everyone who loved me because I was so desperate to be loved in return. That's on me. Victoria was predatory, manipulative, and morally bankrupt. But I was the one who opened the door and invited her in. So if you're reading this or listening to this, or however you're consuming my story, here's what I want you to take away. Lesson 1: love shouldn't cost you everything. If someone makes you feel like you have to earn their affection through money, gifts, or sacrifices, you're not in a relationship, you're in a transaction. Lesson 2. Listen to the people who love you. They see things you can't see when you're high on infatuation. They're not jealous, they're concerned. There's a difference. Lesson 3. Slow down. Real love doesn't need to rush. If someone's pushing for commitment before you really know them, ask yourself why. What are they afraid you'll discover if you take your time? Lesson 4. Watch what they do, not what they say. Victoria said she loved me. But she never acted like it. She never contributed, never compromised, never put my needs before her wants. Actions tell the truth that words can hide. Lesson 5. You teach people how to treat you. By accepting her behavior, by making excuses, by prioritizing her comfort over my own well-being, I taught Victoria that I was someone who could be used. Don't do that. Lesson 6. Your value isn't determined by someone else's desire. I felt worthless after 16 years of academic rejection. So when Victoria seemed to want me, I clung to that validation like a drowning man clings to driftwood. But her desire didn't make me valuable, it just made me vulnerable. Lesson 7. It's never too late to walk away. Even after the wedding, after the money was spent, after I'd alienated my family, I could still walk away. And I did. It cost me everything I had, but it saved my life. I'm 39 now. I have $127 in my checking account and $58,000 in debt. But I also have my sister back. I have a job I care about. I have a girlfriend who treats me like an equal partner. And I have something I didn't have when I was with Victoria Peace. So yeah, I paid $180,000 for an education in human nature, predatory relationships, and self-worth. Expensive? Absolutely. Worth it? Ask me in 5 years. But if my story saves even one person from making the same mistakes, if one lonely, desperate person reads this and recognizes the red flags I missed, then maybe, just maybe, that's worth something too. One final note. I know some of you are wondering, do I regret meeting Victoria? The honest answer? Not anymore. Because meeting her taught me who I don't want to be. It taught me what I won't accept. It taught me the difference between being loved and being needed. And it taught me that the most dangerous lies aren't the ones other people tell us. They're the ones we tell ourselves. She loves me. It'll get better. I'm different from her other boyfriends. This is what relationships are supposed to be. All lies. All comfortable delusions I clung to because facing the truth was too painful. Well, I've faced it now. And I'm still here. Broke, but breathing. Wiser, but weary. Alive. And that's enough. The best time to walk away is the first time you want to. The second best time is now. Marcus Chen, survivor of his own stupidity. The end.